Well, guys, I've been gone for a little bit. I've been off the deep end, but we're back. I want to talk about the Cats and kind of sum up what's been going on because, as you see in the title, I'm playing the catch-up game. I'm trying to catch up to the news happening each and every day, and the best way to do it is to get in front of it, make one big video or one video discussing the topics that we've had happen the last couple of days, and then when the next big news piece breaks, I can jump in and hit the ground running. I've been kind of off the deep end the last couple of weeks, just going through the motions of moving. We're dealing with heading back to Kansas City here soon full-time, so if you're in the KC area, give me a shout. We're heading back from Minnesota here in the next month, so things have just been, I've just been juggling things and not juggling all of it. The YouTube channel has suffered because of it, and you guys have as well. That said, no more. We're back. We're here to talk about the Cats. Now, in the time I've been gone, it kind of came at a convenient time because things haven't been going great. There are some updates we need to talk about. There's guys going out, and there's a guy coming in. There's a couple different people that we're, trending in the right direction for. And I'll give you my thoughts about all of that in today's video. Before I do, hit the subscribe button. It helps out immensely as we continue to grow this thing. For those of you wondering, I realize I can't show you a picture unless I screenshot it from Twitter. I do have my cat script tattoo. It is done. It's awesome. It's healing up really nice. And I'll show you guys once it's all, once it's healed back, get the leg hair back because I have to shave you for it. I will show you at that point. But for now, just know I got it, and it's awesome. Now, 3 things happened. I'll talk about in order of what happened, starting with the departures of Ugonna Onyenso and Baye Fall. The 2 left, and I recorded a video with my AirPods. It sounded crappy. It looked crappy. And I tried to upload it. The Wi-Fi at the house I was at, it would have taken about 2 hours to get a 4-minute video out. So that's just not going to happen. But for Ugonna Onyenso, Baye Fall, both those losses make sense. Both those losses, I don't mean to say they needed to happen per se, but yeah, they did. The initial idea of adding those guys, you could see the upside, it didn't work out. It just is what it is. But for Baye Fall specifically, that one hits a little bit harder because you redshirted the kid, you paid him money to do that, and he sat there and he didn't play much, he didn't give you any value. Now he's going to go somewhere else and try to give value to a different program. That sucks, but I get it. If you feel like this is the best opportunity and there's not a future ahead for you guys with Baye Fall, vice versa, whatever the case is for Baye Fall's party and for K-State's, it makes sense. For Ugo, I'm pretty thankful, if I'm being honest. I don't usually try to trash people or trash players on this team. In terms of the YouTube channel, that's kind of a crappy thing to do. None of this is personal. None of this is about Ugo. I think he's a really good dude. The clips we've seen, I've really enjoyed the guy he is. That said, the dude is not a good basketball player, at least in the context of Kansas State. Maybe he'll go somewhere else and be damn good. But for K-State, the dude is not the answer. The dude was never the answer. It didn't work out. It came to a situation where he was one of your offseason biggest, the biggest pieces of the offseason, and he gave you minute value at best. There was maybe a couple stretches where he played okay, but for the most part, that was a waste. Ugonna Onyenso, it didn't work out, and I hope he has good luck wherever he ends up next. We'll see what that happens, but I imagine it's probably going to have to transfer down or at least go to a school, of lesser value or make some type of a slight lateral movement. That said, it's for the best. Ugo wasn't going to be a piece of this team next year. It did sound like there was, both parties thought about bringing it back, running it back, and for whatever reason, it didn't work out. Probably for the best. That's at least my professional opinion. And when I say professional, it's completely unprofessional. But that's the point of the channel. I'm going to be honest and transparent about it. I'm not, an insider guru type dude. I'm just here to tell you what I think about the Cats. Ugo going is subtraction or addition by subtraction. Now, jumping into the topic that really, really sucks, Doug McDaniel's in the portal. Sounds like some team lured him out, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast when you're a team that's winding down in the transfer portal. You need somebody. You call somebody that's not going into the portal, and you say, hey, we got X amount of money for you. Come join us. And then you say, you know what? All right, give you a chance to match. If it doesn't work out, I'm out. That's at least what it sounds like from the outside looking in. Doug McDaniel, it stinks because you really, really hoped that he would be the guy that would, hit the ground running and at least stay for 2 seasons under Jerome Tang. And honestly, off the top of the head, I don't care if you're Jerome Tang, you're Bill Self, you're, whoever. You will not survive college basketball with zero continuity in the backcourt. The reality of the situation is you were in your 4th season, you're looking for a 4th point guard. That blows. No matter who the coach is, that really stinks. And I'm not saying that's because of one reason or the other. Obviously, TP didn't have eligibility. Keese was out of eligibility. Doug McDaniel just wasn't the answer. And that's not to say Doug was a bad player. I was Team Doug. I won't try to sway you and say, oh, this isn't a loss. We don't hurt for losing Doug. This hurts. At his best, when he looked bought in, he looked awesome. And then when he didn't, you saw what happened. You saw both the highs and the lows, and that's just kind of the player Doug McDaniel is. But you hoped that, okay, this is the best option for us next season. The issue is that the fact it happened so late. And I get that's the nature of the transfer portal where you can lure someone in. There's no repercussions. That sucks. It's just the way it goes. But for Doug, I wish him nothing but the best. I appreciate him. He jumped on the channel with us when he committed last year. Super cool guy. Nice dude. Hope he finds success wherever he ends up. That said, for Kansas State, it does suck. It is a loss. We'll see what happens. Where do you go from here? I don't know. I don't know if there's a ton of great point guards out right now. It feels like the overall talent at the top of the transfer portal is down significantly from last year to this year. Maybe that's revenue sharing. Maybe that's something else. Maybe that's whatever the case is. People are getting tired of portaling and they're saying, you know what? The grass isn't always greener. It's just the way it goes right now. And that doesn't mean that K-State's not going to have a better option than Doug McDaniel. It means it's going to be damn hard to get a better option than Doug McDaniel at this point in the cycle, but it can be done. You can hit on a guy. I thought, Max wouldn't play much hardly at all last season. Not saying he's a point guard, but didn't think Max would play hardly at all. Was incredible. I didn't think David Gasson was worth a damn when he got to Kansas State, became our best player this past season, and developed his ass off. But you can find good players. It's just a matter of where you look. We'll see if K-State goes to the mid-major ranks, if they go to the high major conference, whatever they want to do, Power 4. You're going to either have to lure someone in or go find somebody that you feel really, really good at that's just waiting for that opportunity. So we'll see what happens with the point guard spot. And then the last piece of news for today's video before I kind of continue this thing on tomorrow. Khamari McGriff, a UNC Wilmington transfer, joins Kansas State, a 5-man for the Seahawks. Started 40-something games in the past 2 seasons. It was interesting. He did end up coming off the bench. It sounded like he got pushed to the bench in favor of Harlan Obioa, who just committed to West Virginia recently, and Ross Hodge, a kid from Hoxie, Kansas, actually. Shout out. But he's a good player. I think he's a fine player. I just don't know that it's not the sexy ad, but that said, the sexy ad has not worked for us at Kansas State the last couple years in terms of the big man, so maybe it makes better sense than the ad. I'm just withholding the right to judge. I'll wait to see what the recipe looks like before I give you my full thoughts. But for the ad, it's an all-right ad. It kind of reminds me of what Iowa State did with Deshaun Jackson or Joshua Jefferson, where it's, okay, these guys aren't the most desired player in the portal, but they're solid, and they could develop into something. Now, TJ Otzelberger has gotten the best out of his guys consistently when it is that lower-ranked mid-major type dude. We'll see what happens with Khamari McGriff at Kansas State, but I would say right now the kid's going to be playing the 5. Don't try to entertain it like he's playing the 4. He is a 5-man. It's the only place he played at UNCW. But we'll see what happens on that front. I think his game's okay. I like that he's a lefty. I like that he can finish around the rim. He's got don't take this at face value and try to compare this the way I'm saying this. He's got some JT Toppin-isms to his game. He's not JT Toppin. Do not think he's JT Toppin. I'm not trying to sell you on that. But I do understand that there's some similarities there, so you could at least appeal to the upside if you want to go optimistic with it. If you want to go pessimistic with it, it is what it is. I'm not going to try to sway you one way or the other. But for now, that's what's going on. I also want to give an update. I have an interview with Abdi Bashir Jr. coming in the next couple of days. Once again, just been swamped on everything. But it was an awesome conversation. I'm excited for you guys to hear that. But for today's video, that's going to do it. If you want a more in-depth video on Khamari McGriff, if you want a more in-depth video on Doug McDaniel, leave it in the comments and I'll jump in on this in the next couple of days whenever I have time. But guys, for now, I appreciate all the love and support and the patience through me, slacking off a bit. I'll talk to you all soon. Have a great day. Go Cats.